welcome everyone. I welcome everyone into the session 45 of D365 User Group India, driving insights in Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO using the business performance analytics. I have been joined with the Deepak Agarwal, he's in Microsoft MVP, and also Shivam Pandey, who is our speaker of the day. I will have brief introduction about our group. This is the group in which we are covering right from the Dynamics ecosystem, plus Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, the complete ecosystem within the Microsoft. We also had various sessions on the CRM, Business Central, and the other surrounding like Azure. Like I do normally Azure, Deepak takes care of the technical, Chester takes care of the technical. We have Satya Kejriwal also group volunteer. He's in finance guy, so he talks about the functional stuff within our group. Okay, so we have around more than 3,300 members globally and increasing day by day. This is our YouTube channel in which you can see the previous recordings. We have almost done 42 videos. If you see 42 videos, 3 videos are still, this screenshot is old, bit old. So we still have around 44 videos live now, and this is the 45 session. So I will not be delaying the session to start with. I will invite our special guest today, speaker, Shivam Pandeyji from Microsoft. Thank you. Over to you, Shivam.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay, great. And thanks for the invitation to present in your forum. We appreciate that. Thanks for the introduction as well. Let me briefly introduce myself. So my name is Shivam Pandey. I'm a principal product manager, and I work at Microsoft. I have been working in the Dynamics business for around 16, 17 years. And through that, have worked in various domain areas, especially finance, and then moved into AI, analytics, and reporting areas. Currently, I own the strategy and the direction for decision intelligence that includes things like financial reporting, financial insights, business performance analytics, and other reporting areas within analytics area within ERP. And today we're going to be joined by Jeannie Wong, who works with me on the BP product as well. She's not been able to join because of a conflict, but we do have some recordings from her for you to watch as part of this presentation. So I welcome all of you to the session. And in this session, we'll talk about our journey with business performance analytics and decision intelligence that we have taken. We started a few years back, and we are well into this journey. I want to talk to you about what is business performance analytics, what's the value proposition of business performance analytics, what are some of the key business processes and use cases that you can drive using business performance analytics. I'll talk about the cost and the licensing. It's a very common question that comes up as part of this conversation. How we're moving from reactive decision making to a proactive decision making through to decision intelligence. And then we'll talk about future roadmaps and updates. So that's the basic agenda that we will walk through. So in the first section, we'll cover like what's business performance analytics and what are the basic aspects of it. So we'll start with a brief Q&A. Let's see if we can get people engaged here a little bit and maybe come off mute and answer some of the questions that I'm asking, and see if folks can answer some of these questions. Pretty easy. What is this? What does it look like? Can anybody answer what are they seeing on the screen?
A mine.
A mine. That's absolutely right. So Jayesh said that this is a mine. He's absolutely right. This is a mine. Can anybody guess what is this? Oh, it's a diamond mine, Deepak is saying. Yes, it's a diamond mine. So Deepak is right. This is a diamond mine. This diamond mine is in Russia. It's called the Marni Diamond Mine, and it's out of business. But when it was in business, it processed more than 450 billion pounds of rock and dirt, and it processed all of that rock and dirt to produce just a fraction of its weight in diamonds. So like 0.00024% of that weight was diamond. So they had to process so much rocks, dirts, etc., to produce a few diamonds, right? That are so valuable for the business, right? And so when we look at businesses across, every business has a mining problem, right? If you think of it from a data perspective, every business that is out there has a lot of data in their hand, but they don't know what to do with it because data by itself, raw data by itself, is not useful, right? But they have a lot of data. What you need to do is that you have to take this data, process it through the different pipelines. You have to extract it, transform it, load it in the shapes that is useful for your business, and then extract insights, right? Those diamonds that we have, that we talked about, that are extracted from these mines. And if you think about it, the comparison, it is good comparison because you're processing GBs of data to get nuggets of insights that the companies can then apply to transform their businesses. And this whole process is extremely laborious, like a mining operation, right? And when it comes to data, right, the data is distributed across different systems. You have to bring all the data together. The quality is back, so you have to go refine that data. Sometimes you see that people are have created their siloed data sets that doesn't work with other data sets within the organization, and hence you cannot get end-to-end business insights. So there's a lot of issues that companies have to deal with when it has to come with data, solve those problems to the scale of a mining operation to really get insights, to make decisions, to improve business performance, right? So we are trying to solve this problem, the mining problem for our businesses through business performance analytics. And through business performance analytics, we are providing a managed and we bring your own solution where we take all of this data that exists across these companies' Dynamics portfolios. We are bringing them all together into common shapes. These are business shapes that end users can understand. For example, record to report is an end-to-end business process or value chain, which has data from general ledger, budget, organized in a shape, star schema, that an end user can go look at it and understand what it is. We have procure to pay, order to cash, which represents the procurement process, the ordering process. And not in isolation, right? These are value chains. So these contain individual star schemas and business processes. So for example, procure to pay contains purchase orders, purchase requisitions, purchase orders, purchase invoices, purchase payments, subledger and ledger information, right? That's what's contained in that star schema. And they are not in isolation. They are connected to each other, right? So a customer can start from a purchase requisition, go to the or purchase order and go to the ledger, and they can start from a ledger and they go to the purchase order, navigating all the documents in between. This gives businesses an ability to find insights across their businesses and value chains. And it is very hard to get to this, right? And this is what generally what businesses are trying to get to, a unified data model that they can then go build insights on top of it. But we don't just do that. We have put a data security layer on top of these data models in something we call as dimension and row level security, where you can assign dimensions to users and only facts that have that are striped by their dimensions, user can see, others it cannot. This level of fine-grained security was not possible in our ERPs before. Now it is possible when it comes to data access through BPA. And this also then enables, if you think about it, self-service reporting, right? Now you don't have to create 10 different reports for 10 different people or 10 different departments. Now you can create one report And depending upon the dimension access that that user has, those reports will be filtered to only show data that user has access to. That's incredible. That takes a lot of toil out of the system of building these reports, managing these reports, and all of that. And then on top of it, what it also enables is what companies have been wanting for a very long time, and that is self-service reporting. That my users should be able to access data and build their own reports. I do not want an developer to do that all the time. Whenever I have a need to add a field, to build a report, to do the simplest things, I want to go bring in developers. I don't have to go do that anymore. And then we're also building tools beyond Power BI and Excel, integrating it with BPA, so that you can generate autonomous insights. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes as to where we are taking the product there. But we also believe that every business is different, right? And we do serve businesses across SMB to enterprise. So the scale of the businesses are very different. The amount of data they produce are very different. And we know that for upper mid-market and enterprise customers, and even in SMB segment, there are scenarios and customers where they require extensive data integration from other systems. Every business is highly customized. Every ERP is highly customized. There are multiple, sources of truth. You got to get all the data together in a single place, right? So we also provide this functionality where you can move or get access to the dimensional model, the analytical model, into your own Fabric subscription. Then be able to join other tables that you might have from other sources with this data model and build a robust data warehouse on top of the basic dimensional models that we ship. And then, sky's the limit, because the capabilities of Fabric are immense when it comes to data, right? That's the whole stack. So just imagine the capabilities that are possible if you bring the data models in your own subscriptions and build a data warehouse on top of it as well. So we meet customers where they are. If customers want to use an out-of-box solution with pre-built reports where they can create their own reports, add a few fields here and there through customization, and be able to do self-service reporting, we have an out-of-box solution that provides intelligence out-of-box. Then we also have an ability to extend the solution and scale to the enterprise's need as the businesses grow. Now I'll walk through a video that will provide an overview of key capabilities that exist in business performance analytics. I will walk through some of the demos that go into details as to what these capabilities are. Some of those, not all of them. There's a lot of capabilities I cannot, in 1 hour time frame, walk you through everything. So we'll walk through some of the most important ones. But this will be an overview. Can you guys hear the volume? Otherwise, I'll have to reshare.
No, I don't think there's a volume shown.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
So let me just reshare here with audio. Okay.
Introducing Business Performance Analytics, a centralized reporting and insights hub within Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Business Performance Analytics is designed to streamline your financial and operational insights and help you make faster, data-driven decisions. At the heart of Business Performance Analytics are pre-built reports powered by an end-user-friendly data model that cover core financial and operational processes like procure to pay, record to report, and order to cash. These reports give you a quick and comprehensive view of your financial performance right out of the box. But Business Performance Analytic doesn't stop there. If you need something more specific, you have the flexibility to modify existing reports or even create your own, all tailored to your unique business needs. One of Business Performance Analytics' standout features is dimensional role-level security, ensuring that users only see the data relevant to them based on their role. This means you can confidently share reports without duplicating them, as the data is automatically filtered by your organization's security policies. It's a simple but powerful way to maintain control while providing access. For teams that love working in Excel, Business Performance Analytics integrates seamlessly with Analyze and Excel, allowing you to export and explore data using pivot tables and formulas. And if your organization is leveraging Power BI, Business Performance Analytic integrates deeply, giving you access to curated reports and enabling advanced visualizations. Lastly, Business Performance Analytics integrates with Microsoft Fabric, providing a scalable, secure environment for handling large datasets and ensuring your insights are always powered by the latest technology. In short, Business Performance Analytics delivers a robust, secure, and flexible platform for business leaders, helping you get the most from your data while staying agile and informed. Thank you.
So there you go. So those are the key capabilities of business performance analytics, and we have added some more since this video was created as well. But as you can see that we offer functionality like I've described, which is basic reporting of the general functions, but also extensibility into Fabric and beyond into a comprehensive package that we call as business performance analytics, right? So in the next section, and do raise your hands and pause, and we can make this interactive. And Umesh and Agrawal, sorry, Deepak, I would let you guys figure out like how to, open up and stuff, like how you manage the Q&A, but totally up to you. You can always interrupt me and ask questions in between as they come up.
Sure. So yeah, for the question answer sessions, we have kept it for last 10-15 minutes,
Okay.
so that should be fine. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So in the next section, we'll talk about the key business processes and use cases that BPA supports. We are not taking an easy route when it comes to solving the data problem. We are taking the right route. And the right route is the route where we are creating these star schemas or dimensional models that represent end-to-end business processes connected to each other so that there are no siloed data anymore. You can traverse from one point of a business process to the other point of business process and gain insights in between. As part of this, we have been rolling out these data models, analytics data models. We started with finance. We are moving into supply chain areas and project operations. In fullness of time, there will all the business processes in ERP will be represented in the analytical data models, connected data, etc. And so basically, we are not just exposing ERP data, but we are even modeling the business processes, right, for our end users to enable near real-time self-service reporting, right? So that is our goal with these data models, and users should be able to consume it, right, and be able to build their own reports and understand it and all of it. Now, this journey has not been easy, obviously, like creating data models from scratch and making sure all the relationships between them works and etc. has not been easy. I joke with my team is that in the dimensional world, time moves differently, right? So it's not a linear scale, even though it's showing a linear scale here, like that, hey, we are executing on, it's a different, we slow down, we speed up, we slow down again. So, but currently we have record to report, procure to pay, order to cash, acquire to retire data models that we are, order to cash data model that's out there, acquire to retire data model we are still working on. And then, as you can see, that there are far, other business processes that are in line in the future to be created. But again, the key thing that I want you to take out of this slide is that in fullness of time, all business processes within AI ERP will be represented in analytics stack for you to build reports, to do analysis, do forecasting, anomaly detections, and whatnot, right? So instead of building your own models, you should bet on the data models, the base data models that we are shipping, and then extend those and build on top of those, because with that, you get the goodness of the base models. So you're not spending resources to go build those. And then as we go ship new solutions, upgrade our business processes, you get those free, right? And so you don't have to go into development and understand, oh, what's the new functionality that's been added? Let me go into add it to a data model. All the base functionality will be added as those functionalities get shipped out over time. So that's the power of data models and data. Now, what this enables is many processes, right? And before we go to that, let's talk about, like, this question comes up a lot of times, right? It's like, how do I use BPA, right? Should I use BPA to power my data warehousing solution? Should I use the BPA to power my analytics solution? Which is the right approach for me? And generally, the answer that I give to our customers is that both. You should do both, right? Because what BPA does provide you is out-of-box reporting, analytics, and insights. So why would you not want to gain that value right away? And it does it in a way that it exposes self-service reporting. So why wouldn't you want to give that power to your end users? So start with out-of-box reporting. Look at the reports, the data models, etc., that we have out of box. When we do add extension functionality, add those fields that are missing into the data models, and find value in it. But if there is a need where you need to go extend these data models in a very intense way, bring data from 10 different systems, merge it all together, then obviously you probably have to go build a data warehousing solution. In that case, like I said, use our data models, right? So that you get upgradability, you get new features as they are shipped, and you're not wasting time and money and resources building things that Microsoft already ships. So these are the two approaches we recommend together, and there is value in both of them, right? And the latter one, you might not need it depending upon depending upon the size of your company and the complexity of your data integration needs. But the first one is absolutely useful for everybody. So I'm going to next demo 3 scenarios that talks about basic capabilities that users assume out of reporting analytics and insight systems, right? And then once I have demoed the basic capabilities, or shown the basic capabilities, we will then I'll talk about where we are headed from an agentic AI perspective as well. Because if you think of where analytics is going, if you think about it, we have the descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics, right? So what happened, why it happened, what may happen, how can I change it, right? And so I'll talk to you about what are we doing from a descriptive and diagnostic, what happened and why it happened, how do we enable that through a self-service mechanism, and then we'll talk about where we're going with the predictive and prescriptive stuff in future slides. So self-service reporting. It's something that people take for very granted, that an end user should be able to access the data within an organization and then be able to build their own reports. It's not easy, right? Because they don't have access to the data model, they don't have the right security privileges, all the data is not in the right places, you don't have access to the tools that an end user can use to build those reports. So basically what happens is that you hire a consultant, you hire a developer to go do that. Now, you don't have to go do that anymore. And I don't know how to replay this. Let me try this again. So basically, like if you can see in this model, as the user goes in, I'm sorry about the quality. I don't know why it's loading this way, but they click the edit the report. The whole dimensional model opens on the right, which has all the facts and dimensions listed in a shape that end users can understand. And then they can easily drag and drop any field they like. In this case, it's basically the description field that they drag and drop. And then that field appears in the report, and they are able to carry forward with the investigation. This is not easy, right? This takes a lot of work and effort to go build, and actually most ERP solutions do not provide this out of box from an end user perspective, where they have access to the value chain and all the all the data behind it. So that's number one. Now, if you the second scenario that we hear a lot about from our customers is Excel, right? If you think of Excel, is there any accountant in the room who doesn't love Excel? Like, if there is, please let me know. I think you'd probably be an exception. I would like to have a conversation with you as to why that is the case. Maybe we'll go, fix it for you. But everybody loves Excel, right? And what people generally do is that they export the data out in Excel, and then they create a pivot table on top of it and then do the analysis. What if we gave you the data connected live and give you the ability to create a pivot table out of that? Wouldn't that be wonderful? So we provide that ability as well. So any accountants, ERP folks who love Excel, they can go in, they can build create their own Excel report. So here they're creating an Excel report. The Excel report is being saved into BPA. It will open. It will install an add-in. Once you open the report, it will open the add-in, connect the data to the ERP, and pull in the data, and then you can build your own reports. And you'll see that happening. So there you go. There's a pivot table, right? So the add-in is loading. We're trying to make it faster, but it's still slower. But anyway, the add-in loads. It's the first time installation, so that's what we're showing. The add-in loads, and then when you go on the pivot, you can see like all those tables and fields that you were seeing in Power BI, end user friendly, right? They can understand what those tables and fields mean. It's available for the end users in the pivot table, and see it's drag and drop experience like you do in pivot table, and the data is loading right there live, right? So this is the power that BPA brings to the end users, to the organizations, where they get live data connectivity to their ERP to do analysis in Excel, to find insights out of the data. Where simple, but obviously these are also complex things, not possible today. There's a lot of steps that people go through to export this data out, right? So that's next. The last scenario that I want to show you is subledger to ledger analysis. Again, one would believe that this is something very simple and people can do it very easily. But the fact of the matter is, in the ERP space, doing analysis across business processes is very tough. But again, why? Because the data is siloed and it's hard to come integrate them all together and then figure out. So, but you will show you here how easy it is in BPA because of the connected data sources to build your own report. And we're not going to show you building all of the report, but to do the ledger to subledger analysis. And this will be a voiceover by Jeannie. So let me play this video for you.
Welcome to our demo on Business Performance Analytics. Today, I'm excited to showcase one of our standout features, the ability to seamlessly drill from ledger to subledger. Thanks to our dimensional models, we can establish relationships based on posted documents, providing a comprehensive view of financial interactions. Let's dive into the trial balance, where we're conducting a month-end review. As we compare quarter over quarter, a key focus in the balance is the domestic accounts payable account. It's crucial to understand the nuances between these figures. Clicking on this and drilling through to transaction details, I've crafted a drill-through report that captures transaction details from both the ledger and the subledger. This dual perspective ensures we have a complete understanding of our financial standing, down to the most granular level. I want to know what makes up this $24,000, and I click on it on the ledger visual. And down below in the subledger visual, I'm able to see the 3 line items on invoice number D5535 that make up the total $24,490.
By the way, I just want to pause this video and say one thing. Like the report that you're seeing here, you could have built this report today in BPA yourself. This ledger to subledger analysis and analysis within business process that we are trying to demonstrate here is not a function of like the report here. There's nothing special we have done in the report. This is based Power BI, and you're using the base data models to go build these reports. So it is important to understand that, right? So just imagine, extrapolate the scenario that we're showing here across all the different business processes that are in ERP.
Let's go back and look at another example. Scrolling down further, I see that we've spent a large amount of money in the first quarter on office supplies expense. So let's go ahead and drill through this transaction detail. Now up in the ledger, I can see the posting date, the general ledger account name, even the string with the dimensions, journal number, subledger number, and amount. I want to know what invoices make up this amount and what consists of this. And here down below, I can see my account name, my product, purchase invoice number, purchase order number, line description. And I can see it looks like we've purchased 200 Surface laptops for the office, each at a price of $899. Looks like this was misclassified, and it probably should have gone to CapEx. So now that I have this information, I can quite easily generate a journal entry to reclassify this to the right account.
And agents can do that
for you.
Thank you
for taking the time to view this with us.
So that's an example of the ledger to subledger, basically within business processes across the end-to-end business process, how you can gain insights, right, across these different things. Okay. So basically that's the crux of the functionality that I wanted to talk about and demonstrate today. And we'll talk about where we're taking this. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the cost and the licensing overview, because that's one of the most common questions we get from our customers, etc. So there is some good news around this, right? BPA is the base BPA license is part of Dynamics 365 licenses. So if you have a Dynamics 365 license, supply chain finance, you can use VPA. With that, you get 10 GB compressed storage. That's a lot of data, frankly speaking. That's around 100 GB of data, roughly translated into. Don't quote me on that exactly, but that's roughly translated into. Today, you get around 2 refreshes a day. In the future, you would get multiple refreshes. By end of this year, we are hoping for 1 refresh a day. And then beyond this year, we are hoping for minutes of data refreshes. And then with this also, you get extensibility into Fabric. So you can access the data model that BPA has in your own Fabric through shortcuts, direct click mode that we have in Fabric. And so all of this capability is available to you at no additional charge. So you can try BPA today without having to think about cost considerations, etc. Right? So that's the cost and licensing. And I don't know if Umesh or Deepak want to take questions, or we still want to keep going on this.
Yeah, we can open the question. I think anyone having any question for this particular licensing cost, because a lot of questions I hear from various customers about the licenses. So in case you guys have any question, please unmute yourself and you can ask. I have one question, by the way, Shivam. When we say 10 GB of compressed semantic model storage, so this is towards the Dataverse, or it is towards the finance and operation core database which we get, or it is a separate one?
It's a good question. So there are various stages of the pipeline that we talked about in the first slide or the second slide that I was showing you on architecture. This specifically is talking about the Power BI semantic model. So the Power BI SKU, right? So you get like 10 GB of compressed storage within Power BI at no additional charge. The data is also stored in the lake, right? Before it's loaded into Power BI, that's where it is processed and converted into the star schemas. That comes out of the Dataverse entitlements that you may have, right? So that's from the Dataverse entitlements, and then this is basically Power BI SKU that you get with BPA, 10 GB compressed.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Another quick question from me, Shivam.
Sure.
Is those the space, 10 gigs of space you are getting, is it per sandbox, per production environment, or it's per tenant?
So it's per tenant, is what it
Per
is.
tenant. Okay. And when we are saying it per tenant, so I know there is certain limit. Doesn't matter how many sandboxes we have, or maybe more than one production environment.
Sorry, I apologize. I was inaccurate in answering that. It is per installation. So every time you install, so it's one installation per tenant. Let me say one installation per type. So if you have multiple sandboxes, you install it, will not be charged extra for this, right? So it doesn't span across SKUs. It's per installation. Let's say it that way. That's probably a simpler way to say it. Accurate way to say it. Sorry.
Okay. And does it affect my total storage? Total granted storage? It does. Okay.
Yeah, I think Sangeeta was also having some question.
Yeah. Okay, related to this, where it is mentioned like base BPA is included with Dynamics 365 FNU license. So when we are talking about base, so can we handle all type of major operations here, which are you have shown here in the currently in the videos, like most of them, or just we need to have the paid one to
So,
use all the functionality of the.
yeah, currently the restrictions on the volume, right? I mean, that's not even a restriction. We let customers bring as much data as they can that we can support. But there might be additional charges in the future. So basically, what we're saying is that even though you can bring a lot of data, currently what we say is that 10 GB compressed semantic model storage is what is available for free. In the future, there might be cost of bringing additional periods of data that you cannot fit in this queue. Today, there we do not enforce any such costs on the customer. Today, even I don't think Dataverse licensing costs are enforced as strictly, right? So the BP uses Dataverse capacity, right? So you should plan for it. As part of planning for Dataverse capacity, when it comes to cost, that is the cost that you will probably be most worried about, that you should plan for. Other than that, I think as the functionality continues to grow, I can say that like the amount of data that the base solution supports without additional charge will also continue to grow.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Hi.
Sangeeta.
My name is Rishabh Raghav, technical consultant at Atishunya Private Limited. My question is, if a business is using performance analytics for the very first time, so what should be their very first step to get started in that right direction?
Right. So I think the first thing is basically to evaluate that if BPA is the right fit, and if it is the right fit, then like what what are the business processes, etc., that you need right away, etc. Right. So basically, the business again, I mean, you guys are consultants, right? You go out there, you implement it at customers, and you probably guys know better than what the steps are when it comes to implementation and what are steps one takes. But the first thing I would say is that look at the business processes that we support within BPA, and can those requirements be met, customer requirements be met by using those data models. If those can be met, there's no charge to it. Go deploy it and start trying it and using it, right? And then if it does meet the requirement, right, then basically you have to get your admin involved in setting up those users with the right security, because we have introduced a new row-level security model, right, which requires you to assign certain dimensions to users so that the data is filtered out. So you work with your admins to apply the row-level security, and then you can provide access to the users. As part of this, when you're doing the planning, you should look at your Dataverse capacity. Do you have the right capacities to support the business processes that you want to enable analytics on top of? That is also an exercise that you need to go do. Now, if there is any specific like document that you're looking for that describes in detail as to what are the different considerations, you can reach out to me, and we can work on providing you one. But if there is any other specific questions related to this, please do follow up and ask. But it was a very general question, so I don't know how detailed I can go as part of that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, Ashish, I think you have your hands up.
Yeah, it's related to the extension links. Do we have any limit to that also? Like in terms of extensibility, I would ask.
No, there is no limits as terms. Like again, the amount of data that is processed through the pipeline is 10 GB compressed. Currently, we do open it for our customers when they request it. And other than that, there is no other restriction. So through Fabric, like you can access all the data models that we ship out there and build your own data warehouses on top of it. We do not intend to restrict the access to data models.
And related to the limit or restrictions in terms terms of transactional volumes, or I would say the integration point of view, is there any kind of a thing also with that in terms
Yeah,
of
so
licensing, with the licensing?
so the 10 GB, compressed is the limit, right? When it comes to data, that's the limit on the data size. We don't have SKU limits on the amount of data that can be processed. Obviously, that's a physics limit on the pipeline itself, which we are trying to make unlimited. Obviously, unlimited is a big goal because there's always a limit. And there are skill challenges beyond a certain point, but we are working on improving those challenges. And we don't intend to limit BPA to a given scale. And our goal is that any customer that's out there using ERP should be able to use BPA as part of their analytics solution, first-party analytics solution as part of the ERP. So that's what our goal is. So we intend to keep scaling up and up and up. What we have seen is that people with hundreds of GBs of data are currently successful and successfully using BPA. So we have proof points that we can scale to a high volume. And we also have proof points that we break at certain high volumes, and we're trying to go fix it and scale even higher. No limits.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Yeah, so rest of the questions we will take it at the end of the session, towards the end of the session. Yeah, Shivam, please continue. Thank you.
Yeah. So what we talked about so far was what the functionality that's available in BPA today, and more so looks like a traditional analytics and reporting solution, right? But I'm a strong believer that anything we start building from a product perspective, we have to build a very strong foundation and make sure that the basic requirements of the customers are met before we go offer them the cherry on the top. And the cherry on the top is AI agents and all the buzz that we are hearing right now. So my presentation was so far focused on the base foundation, what customers are looking for, the problems that they like, basic reporting analytics problem that they're trying to solve, right? Now that is out of the way. So we are moving ahead. We are moving towards a future where AI and agents will play a prominent role in analytics. When you're looking at different business processes that exist within your organizations, you want to make them proactive, right? And these business processes, span from finance, supply chain, project operations, human resources, so on and so forth, right? So, for example, when you're looking at cash flow forecast, you're building cash flow forecasts today, I'm sure. Maybe in an Excel file, maybe you're using the cash flow forecasting solutions that exist in Dynamics 365. But again, I mean, there are some basic forecasting techniques and algorithms that you're using. But again, what if in the future you could combine historical ERP data with external signals, right? And improve liquidity and planning for liquidity and avoid cash shortfalls. Just imagine that world, right? Or if you could imagine a world where you could predict the supplier delays, right? Or failures of whether the goods will be delivered on time, right? Or in the future where you could recommend or transfer or reorder inventory, right? Depending upon the demand shifts that are happening in the market. You could, analyze your sales performance across the different products, or agents could do it to you and provide the insights proactively, right? Or you could predict customer payment behavior and then use that in cash flow or other applications. That would be a great day, right? Because instead of you having to go do these analysis manually, we could do these things proactively, connecting data not just within Dynamics, but from other sources, and then producing those insights for you. And we are well on track on this journey. So what I'm going to show you, talk to you about here is what our vision is, what we're going to go build on BPA to enable these scenarios, or what we are building on BPA to enable these scenarios, not going to build on BPA. So first of all, we talked about that, hey, we are consolidating data from across ERP products into these dimensional models that are end user friendly. In the future, we will allow you to bring data from other source systems into the managed instances of your analytics as well. I'm not talking about Fabric, bring your own. You can already do that, right? That's no restrictions over there. But there are some restrictions on, okay, I want to bring it into my managed Dataverse and be able to merge it so that I can, provide out-of-box reporting to our customers. We will enable that. You'll be able to bring in data from other source system, merge it with the BPA data, and be able to report on it, right? Then we are building tools, and they're listed here in technical terms: descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis. So we are building these modules, right? And these modules contains pipelines. So taking that data, doing the descriptive analysis, moving the data across different tools. We are building AI models to do these kinds of analysis. Summaries on your data is a descriptive analysis. What has happened? It is describing that, right? So you need an AI model to provide those summaries, right? So we are building pipelines, we are building AI models, and we are adding tools, Excel, Power BI, others, to enable not just end users, but also AI agents to be able to go help end users to go do these types of analysis. So we're building modules for these different things. Plainly put, what is, define what has happened in your business. Descriptive analysis, why it has happened. Descriptive analysis, what may happen and how can I change it to improve my business. That's the prescriptive analysis. So we are building modules for all of these things. And you'll start seeing this module light up within BPA, within different applications that BPA will power. For example, one thing that you might not be aware of, that if you guys use demand planning, how many of you use demand planning functionality that we ship here? Not many, but the demand planning functionality that we have shipped around, there is an insights capability within the demand planning around, figuring out insights on time series. BPA powers that. Not many of you know that. The BPA models power that actually. So BPA will power not just within BPA these insights, but across the ERP. BPA will power insights, right? Through common pipelines, common data, common models, right? And with this, you can do analysis across your business process, etc., that we have already talked about. On top of these modules will sit agents. And on top of agents, we will have this intelligence where you'll have goals. You'll define goals for your business. And these agents will go optimize for these goals using these tools and enabling the business processes or scenarios that have been listed here or that we have just talked about. So this is where we are headed. It's a very exciting journey ahead. We were taking care of the fundamentals. We are still working on some of the fundamentals. We promise you will take care of those. But we are moving ahead into the future. And every customer and partner should be paying attention to this, because if you're not, you're probably lagging behind of where the market is going, where the technology is going, because this technology will empower you to transform your businesses in a way that other businesses that do not use these agentic technologies will lag behind, right? So this is an opportunity for everybody to start exploring, having conversations, and engaging with us as we build these solutions for our customers. Now let's briefly talk about the future roadmap and updates. In June of 2025, we shipped an ALM experience within BPA where you could create your own reports and copy it over from sandbox environments to production environments. In July timeframe, we will be releasing the fixed assets data model in preview. We are also working on getting you more frequent refreshes. In the September timeframe, we'll be improving performance from moving to entities to tables in the lake functionality, and then more models will light up in October timeframe. And then what you'll start seeing is that support for increased volumes. There was a question that somebody had asked, and I was responding to it, that we are always working on increasing the volume We're working on moving from import mode to direct link mode in Fabric so that we can even support higher volumes of data, right? That Fabric supports. So that's going to happen in the January timeframe, and then a lot of the cool agentic AI stuff will start landing between now and the next year. So I'm not going to give you exact time frame as to when that's going to happen because that's a little bit uncertain. But between now and the next year, we'll start seeing a lot of agentic and AI solutions, assistance to help you do analysis. Also, start lighting up in the product. So I am almost wrapped up with my presentation. And before I go, I want to put a shameless plug for everybody. And that plug is that we have 6 agents in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations available today for our partners and customers to go try and use and see the power of agents by themselves. We have them spanning across time. We have them in scheduling operation and field services. We have account reconciliation agents in finance, supply communication, approvals, and so on and so forth. I would request you guys to please go and try these solutions out, position it to your customers. You need to start investigating if these agents are the right fit to you for you right now. If these are not, you need to provide those feedback to us so we can incorporate those feedback in a future version. Again, don't be left behind. Get on to the future and start trying these agents and start providing feedback. So that was the last thing that I wanted to say as part of this presentation. There are some resources here for you to go try those agents. But I really thank you for the engagement that you've provided here in this call. I appreciate all the interest that has come from field around BPA. We are solving a really complex problem of bringing ERP data all into a single analytical suite, enabling tools for descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analysis on top of it, and providing a way for customers to really transform, improve their businesses. And the journey is super exciting from here on, and we're thankful for you to be part of this journey. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Thank you, Shivam, for the wonderful session. Yeah, any closing remarks or any questions from the audience? Yeah, Abhishek, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Shivam sir. First of all, thank you for such an insightful session. It was quite interesting. Also, I have a few questions regarding BPA. Like, is there like any capability in BPA to monitor live SLA compliances like order fulfillment or customer service?
Not yet, but there will be in the future.
Okay, so
again, when I talked about like the agents making things more proactive, what we're gonna one of the things that we wanna go do is have these agents that track goals and report on those goals and optimize for these goals. And as part of that, there will be scenarios like that will light up.
okay, so I have like 2, 3 more questions. Sorry.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
So,
it's
like,
fine.
is there like a template or KPI catalog available in BPA to speed up like the deployment that we are doing?
So there is no currently it's one template. There is no multiple like industry templates we have in BPA. So that's one installation package. I'm not sure specifically what you're looking for, Abhishek. Maybe if you can reach offline to me and provide like what documents, etc. that you're looking for to speed up, what will help you speed up. It is something we could absolutely look into.
Okay, sure,
But we
sir,
have
sure.
like a bunch of documentation that's out there. We have recordings that we have done through the customer advisory boards, and then the office hours that we do on a weekly basis. That's out there. So there's a lot of good content that's out there to help accelerate and learn. But if there is something that's missing or you don't have access to some of this content, please do reach out and I can help provide access.
Sure, sir. Like another question. So, how does BPA handle data versioning? Like, I'm comparing this month to the last month,
Yeah.
like sales, year-of-year comparisons or month comparison. So, how does BPA handle that?
So BPA by itself is not like a data versioning auditing tool. Like we maintain the latest data in the analytics that is a reflection of what's in the transaction stack. In future, we do want to build these, we call as snapshot facts that maintain this period over period analysis. We have not got to that point yet because these are the next level of iteration on top of our base data models that we'll build, like base facts that we're building. Once we are done with that, we'll start building these snapshot facts that does this aggregation and historical, helps in this historical analysis. Currently, on the platform and the foundation level, we don't have any plans to build in versioning of data. Although there are some capabilities that exist as part of the Dataverse Foundation, change data capture, et cetera, that one can use. But as part of BPA, we don't intend to do that. BPA generally will be the reflection of the current data as it exists in the transactional system.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Just one last
Yeah.
question. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm currently working on Power BI. So, if I want to start on BPA like from the scratch, so how should you recommend? Like, what should I learn first? How should I go about BPA, learning BPA? So, can you
Right.
share something? Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you know Power BI, you understand business. So the like what are the different business processes that exist within the domain area of your interest, etc. It's not very hard. We have documentation that's out there on the Learn site on how to install and deploy BPA. I would suggest just get that started, right? And since you're already familiar with Power BI, once installation is complete, I think it's going to be very intuitive for people who know Power BI how to go, or Excel for you to go use that solution, because you start with a list of reports, you click on it, you open a Power BI report or Excel report, and then you go edit it, and then it's all the functionality of Power BI, right? The challenge that what customers or users might run into is that, hey, you guys are adding a lot of data models. What is the mapping between these data models and, say, AX data, right? What's in the transaction system? If you want to learn more about that, we have a report within BP itself, which does the lineage. So you can see data catalog and lineage, which you can see what this field is, what it maps to in FNO, and how you can use it. We have also, like, if you're looking at formulas, you don't understand how this measure calculating. We have a report that even talks about that as to how these formulas have been created. So you can learn about that as well. But there's not much to it, frankly speaking. It's a very straightforward tool. I mean, I really think like we have taken a lot of complexity out of reporting and all of it as we build this tool. Just deploy it. If you're familiar with Power BI Excel, it's going to be a no-brainer overall for you to go use it.
Okay. Thank you again. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, to add on, Abhishek, probably I will take Shivam's contact details, mostly the number, or you can actually connect on the Yammer if you have your Microsoft Partner Network ID, email IDs, then definitely you can connect with Shivam over there. And I will see if I get the email of Shivam sir. What you can do is you can send the mails probably, what questions or what product suggestions you have. He can probably see if that caters. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure,
if that
sure, sir.
caters, yes. Yep. Yeah. So if that caters that, yes, it is a valid demand for customers, then definitely it can be incorporated into the BPA. Okay,
Sure,
any
sir.
more questions? Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. I think we are pretty done.
No.
3 minutes to. Deepak, you have any question?
No question. Just wanted to say thanks to Shivam. It's been amazing session and very excited. We all know the reporting is always a pain to any business, and bringing PPA like a low code, no code, and less dependency on developer, it's going to be really groundbreaking tool. I'm very much sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Deepak. Thanks for the kind words. And yeah, I mean, BPA is real. Like, there are hundreds and hundreds of customers using BPA today, right, in production currently, right? So I appreciate the kind words, and my only request is that let's go evangelize, let's go try, let customers try. I tend to believe that we are a customer-driven organization, so my doors are always open for feedback. Put anything on my calendar, send me an email. I'm always, in a listening mode when it comes to customers, and so is the team, right, Jeannie and everybody else. So please keep your feedback coming, and we will together make this product more robust and more useful for our customers, and both the product and the customer successful together. So
Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely, Shivam.
Thank you, Shivam. For that note,
Thank you.
thank you all. Thank you very much, Shivam sir, for joining us all the way from US.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
sir.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.